Welcome to PACTV Community News. I'm Kim Mio.
And I'm Larry King. On this edition, PACTV Community News brings you to Pembroke High School's rehearsal for The Sound of Music.
Very gratified to watch the students grow in the rehearsal process and their own self-confidence. It's an amazing thing to be a part of.
We also look back at the Martin Luther King Jr. prayer breakfast that took place in Plymouth.
So let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York.
We'll visit Duxbury's Council on Aging Lifelong Learning Kickoff event.
I've taken wonderful courses here, courses that have expanded my mind and taught me about things that I didn't know about.
And we'll meet a mom whose son's illness launched an inspiring story.
The story is not just about the Lyme disease, though, but it's there to encourage parents who have ever struggled with a child.
PCN visited with the South Shore Women's Resource Center to learn about services available to domestic abuse victims.
Domestic violence is an issue that impacts all of us, whether it be directly or indirectly, and it can cost communities thousands of dollars.
Town Talk comes from Pembroke, and we'll start a new series called Design Corner.
It's all coming up on PACTV Community News. Lifelong Learning kicking off another outstanding session of community adult education classes. Duxbury's Lifelong Learning program is offering classes on many interesting and timely topics, such as religions of the world, the war in Bosnia, and opera for everyone. You can find class descriptions and more information at the town's website. PACTV Community News visited their kickoff reception to meet some of those involved in this adult education program open to all.
My name is Jerry Thompson. I'm on the Lifelong Learning Committee, and this is our registration for the winter semester. We have 2 semesters for the year, a spring and a winter. We are offering 15 classes a semester. 2 will be off-site, one at the Village of Duxbury and one at the Duxbury Town Library, because we're gone beyond the space we can use here.
I'm going to teach a class this winter and spring at Duxbury Center on how the Bible came to be and where it is going. My background is I was a Catholic priest years ago, left over 40 years ago, but the Bible as one of the great pieces of literature of the world, and also of course as what I believe to be the Word of God, has always been a very central element in my life. And I've studied Scripture over the years, taught a little bit of it in terms of parish Bible classes, also in more formal settings. I have a pretty good background in the languages of the Bible, Greek, Hebrew, Aramaic, and so I have a fairly good idea of what I'm doing in terms of doing research.
And while I've been on the committee before, I'm currently now a volunteer, but most importantly, I'm a student. And I've taken wonderful courses here, courses that have expanded my mind and taught me about things that I didn't know about, corrected misinformation that I was so full of. It was just wonderful. So the kinds of courses I've taken have been most of Patrick Brown's courses. At some point you could say there are a number of us who are groupies who follow him from course to course. But since he was giving courses about battles, I like to say we're camp followers. He's taught courses that are wonderful about the Reconstruction period, the battles of the Civil War, the battles of the American Revolution, as well as the causes. 1812, he's taught a course on the American and Mexican War. And they're wonderful because many of the courses are things that we might not have remembered taking in school, or for some people, they've had a great fear of history. They didn't really appreciate it. They were kind of nervous about having to memorize dates and not get the sense of the history.
Hello, my name's Carl Meyer, and I taught history and philosophy in Duxbury High School for 20 plus years. And this year at the Senior Center, I'm offering a course on the Constitution of the United States. We'll look at the drafting of the Constitution in light of the Revolution, why it included what it did and why it was structured the way it did. Then we'll examine the ratification debate. The Constitution, which we take for granted now, was very nearly not approved. The vote was 20 to 26 in some states, 30 to 32, very close in a number of states. Then we will look at, those will be the first 2 classes probably. Then the next 5 classes we'll be looking at the various Supreme Court cases which have helped us decide exactly what the Constitution means.
I guess what I love about this program is that it's a way of expanding your mind in a fun way. No tests, no pressure, in an adult learning situation where people take learning very seriously and very fun.
Pembroke High School is gearing up for their performance of Sound of Music. Teachers and students have been hard at work rehearsing and preparing for opening night. The Sound of Music show dates are Thursday and Friday, February 7th and 8th at 7 p.m. and also on Saturday, February 9th at 2 p.m. Tickets can be reserved by calling the number below. PACTV Community News stopped by a rehearsal to preview what promises to be an outstanding student production.
I like that it's such a classic show. This is the first musical I've gotten to do, and to be able to play the captain in The Sound of Music is just, it's a real treat to be able to do that. It's a classic thing.
Do, a deer, a female deer, ray, a drop of golden sun, me, a name I call myself, far, a long, long way to run. So, do, la, fa, mi, do, re. So, do, la, ti, do, re, do.
A deer, a female deer, ray, a drop of golden sun, me, a name I call myself.
You can sing most anything, far, a long, long way to run, so I need a golden thread.
It's really fun to do, to know that this happened so long ago, and you get to relive it and re-act it out, and I think everybody really enjoys it.
There's going to be Anschluss. I've warned you, and everyone liked you. It's a course fun.
We've had some go on to be musical theater majors, and they're out working, and they're auditioning for Disney and doing cruise ships.
One of our girls is a Disney princess.
She is. Yeah, so it's really, and her first experience was
here.
So proud.
Yeah, so proud.
Super proud. Very gratified
So
to
proud.
watch the students grow in the rehearsal process and their own self-confidence. It's an amazing thing to be a part of, to take them on that journey, and most of them really get bit by the theater bug, and they want to do it. What's the next show? They can't wait to dive into the next thing.
Max, can you change in a hurry?
Yes, Max, we could use you tonight.
It's a very talented cast, and we've all worked very hard to make this show the best that it can be.
And if you've seen The Sound of Music before, then it's going to be a great production of it for you to enjoy again. And if you've never seen it, then this is the perfect chance to.
A mom's natural instincts brings us to this inspiring story that may help you. Jamie Barut's son had previously been diagnosed with several health issues, but Jamie sensed there were other medical problems. She sought help for over a decade until finally doctors discovered her son Joshua had chronic Lyme disease. Jamie has taken her story and turned it into a book, a song, and a ministry to help other parents who have children with chronic health issues. PACTV Community News met up with Jamie at one of her book signings in Kingston.
See, my little boy, he needs your help. I've done all that I can do myself. try not to cry as the tears. When he was running, jumping over children's heads on the school bus and running out the door down the street, of pinning him down on the street in the middle of January. And while all the other parents in the carpool line saw me doing this, because I thought, he is going to school, he's going to win. Well, it took me a while and a lot of prayer to realize that there is no winning. Can you hear me? Am I getting through tonight?
And as he turned about 12 months old, his disposition started to change, and he was physically having troubles as well as emotionally. And by the time he was just a couple years old, the doctor started diagnosing him with bipolar disorder, autism spectrum disorders, communication delays, all sorts of disabilities. He's so much better than he was. He entered kindergarten throwing desks across a classroom and just being miserable and in the hospital, and he is in the 6th grade today, and for the first quarter of the school year he was nominated Student of the Month, and he has gotten all A's except for 1 B+. Lyme disease is something that a person can get when they are bitten by a deer tick. And it is a very insidious disease because the Lyme disease mimics so many other diseases that are out there. For my son, it made him have neuropsychiatric symptoms. For others, it can cause severe fatigue and body aches, and they can be misdiagnosed often with everything from multiple sclerosis to lupus to autoimmune diseases. It can even infect every organ of the body and every tissue in the body, and it's different for each person. If they start to have some mysterious symptoms that show up, it's just always good to ask their physician to get a Lyme titer test done. And hopefully it would at least rule that out for them, or they would find it soon enough where they could start a 3-week supply of antibiotics. The story is not just about the Lyme disease though, but it's there to encourage parents who have ever struggled with a child, who have a special needs child, who have their hearts have ever broken for their child. And it's there to encourage them and to remind them that there's hope and healing.
A reenactment of Martin Luther King Jr.'s famous I Have a Dream speech filled Plymouth's South High School last week. The Plymouth No Place for Hate Committee teamed up with the Interfaith Council to offer this breakfast and program to honor the 50th anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Carrie Barnes, who grew up in South Plymouth, delivered a moving reenactment of Dr. King's famous speech. PACTV Community News was there to bring you the story.
Grown significantly in terms of its presence, in terms of attendance, things of that nature. It was actually started by the local interfaith clergy, so many members of the local clergy here in Plymouth and Kingston and so forth actually started the breakfast. The No Place for Hate Committee, which I'm a member of, actually became involved as well. So this is I wouldn't call it a labor of love in terms of actual being labor, but it's something that we're very passionate about in terms of communicating Dr. King's message out to the youth and obviously people in the past who have been touched by his message, but we want to make sure that we get the message out, and that's why we work with the Plymouth school systems on projects that involve kids from grade 1 through 12 in terms of our poster project, essays, things of that nature. We also provide local scholarships as well. Annual event from the standpoint of it's held every year. We get together as a committee sometime in the I would say the early summer months and start planning in terms of our speakers, what the agenda will be. For example, this year we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King's speech on the Washington Mall, the I Have a Dream speech. So we actually have a reenactor here today who will actually orate the I Have a Dream speech. So each year we get together, we plan, we try to have something of significance in terms of the message that we're communicating out to the masses, so to speak. Yeah.
So let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring. And when we allow freedom to ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Thank you very much.
South Shore Women's Resource Center is a domestic violence program that has been serving women and families for over 30 years. They offer many programs and services to people who have endured domestic violence. If you or someone you know is suffering from domestic violence, reach out to the South Shore Women's Resource Center to learn what can be done and what services are available. Or you can just talk anonymously to a counselor. You can find more information from their website, the sswrc.org. PACTV Community News talked with their program director to learn more about their services.
My name is Kathy Spear. I'm Program Director for South Shore Women's Resource Center. We are a domestic violence agency located in downtown Plymouth, and we have been providing domestic violence services to Plymouth and 11 surrounding communities for over 35 years. We offer emergency services, and our emergency services include a 24-hour hotline, and we are on a limited basis able to offer short-term safe homing. We also provide advocacy for victims of domestic violence, and we serve victims that are both male and female, though our primary population is female. And we offer advocacy within our center as well as in our communities. We have advocates that are located in 4 different courts: Hingham Court, Wareham Court, Plymouth Probate Court, and Plymouth District Court, to assist victims who are interested in obtaining a restraining order. We have advocates that work very closely with our local police departments, providing outreach to victims, informing them of our services, as well as giving them information and appropriate referrals. In addition to our advocacy services and our counseling, we also provide community outreach and training. So we offer presentations for schools as well as other community organizations. In addition to our mission providing the advocacy counseling support, part of our mission is to increase visibility of the issue. Domestic violence is an issue that impacts all of us, whether it be directly or indirectly, and it can cost communities thousands of dollars. And what I found over the years of working is that at times people don't really understand the definition of domestic violence, and we define it as when someone is in a relationship when there's unequal power, and that one partner wants to exhibit power and control over another partner. And that can be done in a lot of different kinds of ways. It doesn't have to be just physical. A common phone call that we often get is, I'm not being physically abused, but I don't feel comfortable and I don't feel safe in my relationship. So that's, people can feel unsafe but never have been physically hurt. So some examples of psychological abusive behavior would include name-calling, belittling, humiliating comments, when relationships when both the male and the female are really sort of caught in those stereotypical gender roles and there isn't that flexibility. Sometimes abusive behavior can be economic, where one partner controls all the money or a partner is forced to work or forced not to work. Abusive behavior can also include isolation, separating one from their friends, from their family. So again, it's really about unequal power and control in a relationship. So if you're feeling unsafe, if you don't feel respected in your relationship, then it's something that you may want to consider reaching out and talking to somebody. So all our services are free and confidential. They can be anonymous. Our service can be something as simple as giving you information over the phone. We can assist you with safety planning. You don't have to stay in a relationship and you don't have to leave a relationship. We really work at empowering victims to do whatever they feel is right for them.
Duxbury High School's music and drama departments present the timeless musical West Side Story on February 1st and 2nd at 7:30 p.m. and February 3rd at 2 p.m. Performances will be at the Duxbury Performing Arts Center.
Pilgrim Coalition is planning a plug-in workshop on February 6th at 7:30 p.m. at the Plymouth Public Library. The coalition is committed to educating the public about the significant risks to public safety, health, and the environment posed by the Pilgrim nuclear power plant. You can learn more about this organization from their website, pilgrimcoalition.org. All are welcome to attend the workshop.
Hi, my name is Greg Martin, and this is the Design Corner with PCN. We are here at the Ethan Allen Design Center in Plymouth, where I am the Senior Design Consultant. Throughout the next several months, we're going to be talking about all different kinds of aspects of design. We're going to be talking about paint color, we're going to talk about finding inspiration, we're going to talk about custom draperies and ready-made draperies. Today we're going to focus on instant gratification. And that means is buying a series of things that are all related in the same color that you'd be able to take and put into your existing room and bring that color around and brighten up your whole home. You know, after all the holiday decorations are down, you look at your room and you go, there is something missing. It's the perfect time to find a color that's going to work with your existing things and purchase them, from pillows to some artificial flowers, to some artwork that's going to take a color and bring it around your entire room. Here we're looking at the color yellow, which I have a preference to. This is a great way of putting that really nice, beautiful piece of art on the wall, bringing the yellow around with pillows, and of course with the orchids. I put the duvet underneath that as well, because this would be a great thing to do in a bedroom. So this is a great way to put a really nice bright color and put it around your room. Here we have the color purple. On the left side are things that are a little more contemporary. On the right-hand side, things that are a little more traditional. Again, taking those pops of color, bringing them around your room, get the story done, and make it beautiful. This is where we're taking the color orange and be able to use this in a room. Now, orange is a great color if you have blue in the room, because blue and orange are complementary of one another. It's also a great thing if you have some browns in the room. This is also a bricky kind of orange, and that could work really well for someone that has a little more contemporary brick fireplace in their home. But this is a great way, nice and warm. Take the color, put the art on the wall, the lamp, flowers, pillows, you're good. I hope you enjoyed today's segment as much as I did. If you have any questions or want to talk to me more about design, I can be reached at gmartin@plymouth.ethanallen.com.
Hi folks, welcome to the latest installment of what's going on in Pembroke for the upcoming month. February is going to be pretty busy for us at town government. On February the 4th, I will be presenting the preliminary town budget to the advisory committee, which is on a Monday night. And basically it's a governmental budget that the advisory and various departments and myself will be working from between February and the April's annual town meeting. And this is the budget that goes into effect July 1st, 2014 for FY14. Hopefully we'll be able to have a level funded budget with some extra items for town government usage, meaning more computers, more vehicles for public works and for the police. So that's basically our goal for FY14. In addition, the Community Center Study Committee will be conducting another one of their public forums like we had this past Monday night. It was well attended, and we're hoping that the interest in the public will generate another large crowd to get input from the folks regarding the future of the community center and the surrounding property. On February the 12th, we will be having a special town meeting at the Pembroke Middle School, mainly because the high school is being used by some theatrical performances. So the special town meeting will include 3 articles, one dealing with engineering to be appropriated for the proposed Route 53 Pleasant Street traffic signal. The study that was done by our local paper of the 5 most dangerous intersections showed that that intersection was the only one that did not have any traffic signalization. So we think it's a very high priority. We know there's about $1.3 million appropriated at the transportation bond bill, but the town is going to be required to pay upfront for the engineering so that we can get that project underway this summer. 2 of the other articles will be an article to rescind some bonding authorizations from previous years that have not been spent, and therefore it helps our balance sheet and improves our bond rating. And then thirdly, and will probably be a very controversial article, will be a medical marijuana zoning bylaw. This is an alternative to either a moratorium or just allowing these dispensaries to be located anywhere in our community. So basically the zoning bylaw will prohibit medical marijuana dispensaries anywhere in town except in an isolated area. So those are the 3 articles that we have at the special town meeting in February, and we look forward to seeing everybody there.
Thanks for watching this week's PACTV Community News. Replay times are listed at pactv.org. Click on the PACTV Community News logo on the left-hand side of the page to watch complete edition or individual stories.
You can also find us on YouTube by searching for PACTV Community News. And be sure to like us on Facebook to receive weekly previews and links to our stories.
We're always looking for story ideas. Fill out the form at our website or email me, kim@pactv.org.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week on PACTV Community News.
Doe, a deer, a female deer, ray, a drop of golden sun, me, a name I call myself, far, a long, long way to run. You can sing most anything.
So my little boy, he needs your help. I've done all that I can do myself.
From every mountainside, let freedom ring.